Yo, check this out. I received this in the mail, right? Hello, black man. And I'm so excited about it. This is a journal to help black men articulate their feelings, express their feelings. Hell, just acknowledge that we have them in a safe and honest way. And hopefully, it will translate into other parts of your life. I get it. As a black man, a lot of us weren't encouraged or taught to talk about our feelings. As a kid, when you fail and hurt yourself, your parents told you to get up. You're a big boy. Big boys don't cry. That right there is a hard lesson to unlearn, and it's very hurtful. Because when we become older, we don't know how to express ourselves. We don't know how to talk about our feelings. We don't know how to have a conversation without lashing out or using profanity or getting upset and becoming violent because we weren't taught. But this, man, is essential. Not just to each one of us becoming a better person, but a society of men being able to express themselves is priceless. So if you want to become the best version of you that you can do, check out helloblackman.com. Grab the journal, actually journal in it, be honest, be open, and be accessible to your feelings and embrace them. Yo.
Shout out to
Yo.
What's up, people? Today we have some very special guests. Turn this down. Coming on. My page is always private, so I try to go on and open my page so I can share with people. But today we are talking about parenting and blended families and all of the things. We have some very special guests. If you follow us, you know we have something called Parenting Connection, which is a group that we go to when we got parenting questions.
When it's life.
Because there's a lot.
When life be what?
Life. There's a lot going on. So we're going to bring on these people. Without further ado, I'll introduce them and they'll introduce themselves as they come on. So first and foremost, we have my hometown guy, Mr. Wayman Rankins. Meow, 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 meow.
You did it good. Unmute him.
Oh, wait, hold on. What do you mean? He got to unmute himself because I didn't mute him.
FYT in the building. What's going on, James?
What's happening?
We have a youngin in here who has also already dealt with the aspects of blended family and being a mother and all the things. We have Miss Day Russ. She is also somewhere hometown because she like from the Port Gibson area, so you know that's the same.
They're close enough.
Fayette, Hazlehurst, Port Gibson, all them places the same place.
They not the same place.
You have proven that.
I have proven.
So I will X Hazlehurst off the list.
Introduce her.
And our last guest, well, I'm gonna say last. We don't know who else is coming on. It's Miss Priya. Come on in the room. Let's talk about what we're talking about. How are you today, Wayman? Oh, go ahead, Jabri. I'm sorry.
I was saying I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
We're good. We had somebody pop in, pop out. We are here because Wayman introduced a topic the other day that hit us like in the chest, in the throat.
You like, okay, here we go.
And the topic was blended families, because by the greatest definition of things, that's what we are.
We have a blender family.
we got kids that's in our house. They are kids of people from outside of our relation. Well, listen, we be out here parenting all the people. No hesitation. And the fact that there are people who trust us and, really, give us that energy to be there for their kids. It means a whole lot. And, Jamie has 6 kids from his past. I got 6 from mine.
You can't to me. I know what you're doing.
All right, 5, 6.
What you doing?
Y'all, listen, we loaded today. We got Mr. Rodney. We got Kirk himself. Kirk, what you know about blended families? Do you know anything about that?
A fair amount.
So, we're going to let you introduce the show. We're going to let you talk about, why this came about as a topic, and then we'll jump in as you, give out questions for us.
Okay, awesome. Well, it came about through many conversations with different people, just talking about, relationships, and it sort of spurned off of relationships because, everything is really based off communication. And as I talk to a lot of single, you know, in the dating process, single ladies, I noticed that dealing with the children was an issue because them and the previous person did not have the proper communication skills. You know what I'm saying? Now, we all know how important communication is together, but let me say this. Proper communication is an antidote to chaos. I'm going to say that again. Proper communication is an antidote to chaos. You want to get rid of chaos in all areas of your life, be able to properly communicate. So what we're finding is I believe that I believe in a traditional household, right? We know you have the traditional household, which is I get married to somebody and we have kids together. That's a traditional household. With the blended family household we're going to cover today is I get married to somebody, they was married to somebody, I was married to somebody, whatever the case may be. And now we're trying to bring everybody up under one umbrella. Right? And so I find that a lot of people struggle in their capacity because, maybe we too busy talking about what your credit score is, which is also important. Maybe we also busy talking about, how much money you got in your bank, which is also important. But if you're good in those areas, then if you're not good when it comes to the blended family side, it's going to arouse some issues. It can be, if I was married, which I was married before, and I think me and my ex-wife did a good job of running our household. But let's say if in my household the kids are in the bed at 8:30. Now I'm talking to this other young lady. She just let her kids do whatever they want to do. They don't have a certain bedtime.
Go when you fall out. You're not going to protect. I'm going to protect my peace.
If me and her don't talk about this, then when we get everybody up on the same one roof, and I say, "Hey, it's time for bed," my kids gonna go right to the bed. No hesitation. Meanwhile, it's gonna be like, they on the bed at 8:30. We don't do that. So the question is, whose way going to win? Okay, and at that point, it's gonna start some conflict because we didn't talk about it. So that's basically in a nutshell where it comes from.
Okay. All right.
So this is. Go ahead.
Go last. Let's let our guests talk about this. Jabril, we'll start from you and we'll come back around.
Okay. I do believe what he's saying. Proper communication is very important, especially when you're getting a relationship with someone else that has kids already. Before you all bring in the kids together, there should be a conversation regarding how they parent and how you parent. So when you get them all together, there won't be any kind of confusion. Everybody's on the same accord.
Kurt, where you at on this?
I come from a different side on everything.
No, sorry,
you can have all the discussions you want, but if people go back on after the fact, it doesn't matter. I've had bad experiences with this because I don't do a lot of blending. I do a lot of like, you got yours, I got mine, and we'll chip in where we chip in, but it's like, let's find us first. And I think that's the bigger issue is y'all not happy first before y'all start throwing kids into it. Not y'all. I've been part of that situation too, where we not quite finding ourselves yet. We still kind of on that fence of what we're gonna do, and then you throw the kids into it. Let's have a weekend, let's do that, and then like the rules that I have for my kids, like he said, way different than I treat my kids. Way different than people treat their kids. Like it's a whole different situation, the rules and stuff like that. And if you don't respect the way I do my kids, it's hard to respect the entity that I have. Me as a stepdad or me as a purveyor of rules in your house. So from my perspective as a dude, I don't whatever you do with your kids, what you do with your kids, my kids are gonna be successful. Your kids, that's on you. I try to keep it separate until my input is requested.
All right.
I just respect the space of it all because I'm still a single dude, so I'm not trying to live with nobody no time soon, but I understand the benefits and the setbacks of blending everything together.
So you're not jumping in stepdaddy in day one. Day one, no stepdaddy do this for you. That's how you feel.
Very unique scenarios in which I'd be like, let me help with that. Because I do deal with kids outside of my house a lot. Like kids I had nothing to do with. So I'd be a fool to be like, if I coach kids and your kid play football, I'll be rude to be like, man, we got to work out Saturday, invite them out. You know what I mean? That's kind of rude to me not to invite your kid out. But you know, I see these social media arguments about bills and snacks and McDonald's, and I'm not getting in all that at all. I'm not gonna let the kids starve though. You know what I mean? It's just you know, it's just stuff that's customary to me personally. I don't like anybody for not doing something for another child, but for me, it's just something that I do customarily. Other stuff, don't bother me with that. It's your house.
Exactly. I understand that aspect. Rodney, you're back on the building. What are your thoughts on blended families and how you blend, and what's customary for you versus what's customary for the children that you do not biologically father?
Hello, everybody. Based on experience, I would say that I've been successful and unsuccessful in the blended families theme. But if I got to pick today, moving forward, I would say my stepdaddy days are over.
Get the kids out of here.
I actually agree with Kurt, and it's not to hurt anybody's feelings, but once you've been a fool behind that, you know, type of stuff, I'm just done with it. Now, I love kids. I really do, for the people that know me, but it's just a matter of the resistance level that you get from a child that's not biologically yours that could cause a bigger uproar. And, you know, like Mr. Wayman said, I grew up in a traditional household. Mom and dad was together until I was 15. My grandfather was with my grandmother until he passed away when I was like 10. So I didn't see blended families, to be honest with you, as a kid. So nowadays, when I tried it in the dating world, now, don't get me wrong, if the child is young enough to where their birth father is not in the picture at all, I think you have a chance. But if that child actually does have a father and that child's father is strong, no matter what you and the mama got going on, you almost got to have a relationship with the mom, the child, and the original father just to make that work in your household.
Right.
And for me personally, when I say I'm done, I'm saying that respectively. I've did a good job, but then I also had times where I almost lost my cool. Meaning, I'm bringing somebody else's kids, well, let's say the step kids, around my mom and my grandma and my aunt, and the three women pillars in my life all telling me the same thing. Them some disrespectful kids, you know. And I'm looking like, but I love the mama, you know what I'm saying? But to me, that just doesn't weigh more than my original thought right now. So to answer the question, I've been successful in both, but I would have to disagree with the blended family thing today moving forward.
Blended.
All right, Mr. Mike, we're gonna come down to you and get your thoughts on blending families. Like, how do you feel one can be successful in a blended family? Mr. M5.
Well, I was looking for Mr. Mike.
I'm sorry, I got my glasses on. I can't read that far away.
That's cool. So the question is, how do I believe families can be successful with blended families? So I have a blended family, and nobody knows unless I tell them that we're blended. You know, so I think that if you were going to have a successful blended family, I think that maybe, and this may sound weird, but maybe kind of removing the whole blended aspect, if you will. I mean, you know, like my wife has always treated my kids like they were her own. I had 2 kids before I got married, 2 different women, by the way. I went to Miami at 19 from Mississippi, and I was just out of control, I guess. But she's treated them like they were, you know, her own. And honestly, as you know, as a parent, I wouldn't have accepted it no other way, right? So for us, you know, that is work for me, just kind of eliminating that. Like, I don't have, you know, baby mamas. You know, I have women that I was once friends with, you know, so even just kind of changing how I, you know, look at that,
Yeah.
you know, now we're eliminating that whole, you know, baby mama drama type of deal. You know, I also fought for, you know, custody of my children so I can have a bit more influence too. So I may be kind of speaking on this from a father's perspective a little bit. But for me, it kind of allowed me to have just a little bit more influence. I just felt like, you know, my kids deserve to see, you know, everybody together. I know that's kind of weird too, seeing how I kind of limited the baby mama thing, but when we were together, we were, you know, we were friends, right? So it wasn't like, you know, that attachment, you know, was still there. Like, this is my friend, this is my wife, these are our children, if that makes sense. I think the other thing too is also just understanding that, you know, when your kids aren't with you, like if they're at the other parent's home, I mean, you really almost have no say so what goes on there.
No.
You know, as long as your children are not in danger or, you know, anything like that, like I don't try to, you know, have an influence in that household, right? I think that those are kind of issues that usually give families a hard time, you know, co-parenting and with the blended family scenario. But yeah, man, like in our house, like we just one family. Like there is no, like I said, I mean, unless I told you it was blended, like you wouldn't know. So that's how I kind of like to, you know, move with it. Like I don't like the whole step parent and stuff. Like I don't even like we don't use those terminologies.
You don't use that word.
Yeah, I don't, you know. So you know, so that's how I mean, that's how we do it anyway.
So do your biological children call your wife mom?
They do.
Okay. All
They
right.
do. It was a decision that they made, you know. But when my wife and I got married, my children were really young. So they were like 3 and 1. So that was like super young. So I mean, she has practically raised them. My oldest is 20 now. My daughter will be, you know, 18 in November. My youngest that her and I have together is 14. But yeah, they do call her mom, and you know, so yeah.
Okay. All right. Interesting perspective. Dave, what you got going on? We know you've dealt with this in your own rights.
Yes, I have. Hi, everybody. I like the idea of a blended family because sometimes, you know, family is what you make it, not what you were born into. As far as it being blended, I do feel like what Rodney said that you do have to have like everybody has to be on the same page, as in the father, or in my case, the father has to, me and the father have to be in agreement, and the child's mother. We all have to be on one page in order for it to work. Um, it has been successful in a sense, but everything has its ups and downs. So we're making the best of it, you know.
That part. That part. Wayman, what you think about these responses?
No, I think all the responses are valid. I know that people would tend to speak about things based on their experiences, you know, and this is just another indicator of you can locate people where they are and where they have been by their responses. Now, depending on what your age is, if you're 35 and older, you're 40 and older, and you're out here dating, I don't see no other way that you can dodge blended families. Unless you're going to be, you know, a man that's 40 and 50 years old still trying to make babies, or if you're a female that's trying to have kids over 40. But if you're dealing with women that's over 35 or really over 30 these days, they have them early, you're going to run into some women with some kids.
Yeah.
Okay? So blended family is not an ideal, just like brushing your teeth is not ideal, or taking a bath is not ideal. It's going to happen. You have to do it. If you're participating in dating and she got kids and you like her, the problem is we haven't been taught and we don't have the capacity to deal with the situation. Remember, marriage is not bad. Blended families is not bad. We just have personal issues that we have to work through to make those situations better. Okay? And if you don't have the personal capacity to deal with it, then now we're talking about self-development on issues like this, reading, you know, the Bible talks about seek wise counsel, right? Because the reason why blended families is an issue is because everybody got so many different ways they want to raise their kids.
Yeah.
But what the Bible says do. You hear people talk about, well, I don't whoop my kids. Well, that's fortunate for you if your kids ain't doing anything for you to whoop them. Glory to God. They're not doing anything for you to whip them, so you ain't got to whip them. But when they do something that calls for a whipping, what do you do then? Mm-hmm. Now, when the Bible says spare the rod for the child, the rod is not always physical correction. Sometimes we need to talk to them. So this is what has worked for me. Mm-hmm. Okay? And this is what I did to my kids, and this is what I do to anybody kids that, you know, I get the blessing to be with. I'm going to show you the lamb first, the gentle lamb, and then I'm going to show you the lion. I'm talking about from a lamb perspective. Mm-hmm. So if there's something wrong, I ain't just trying to I'm not trying to be the fun police. I'm not just trying to show up when things happen, when you do something bad.
Bad, yeah. That makes a big difference.
Right. Another thing is we got to understand that from a man's standpoint, I understand when I'm dealing with a woman, it's a package deal. Mm-hmm. Okay? Just like I go buy a used car, I ain't telling the folks at the used car to cover their scratch up before I buy it. I understand it's used. Someone else had it. Mm-hmm. The question is it gonna be better in my position than it is in yours, or it was in yours?
Right.
Okay? So I know as a man, if I'm dealing with you and you got kids, it's a package deal. I'm already looking at you, listening to you. If I'm over to your house and chilling, I'm already looking for ways that I can step in and make things better, because that's what a relationship is supposed to be. Somebody needs to step in where you're weak. You know, I can be strong. Where I'm weak, you can be strong, right? So it's with the kids, because look, even as strong as I am as a parent, there were things that I was weak in when I was married to my wife, and get what she did. She threw right on in.
Yeah. So like that's a big difference between, I guess, what my perception of what Kurt is saying and what you're saying. So Kurt's saying like day one, he not necessarily looking to parent the other parents' children, but more, I guess, be who you are to any other children, versus just going in and saying, hey, this is my way, we're gonna do this my way, from that standpoint. So like discipline I know discipline is a big thing, right? You come into a child's life, and age is a big thing. Now for us, age really, it didn't play a part in it, right? We both had, I guess, middle-aged children, young child, middle-aged children, and we didn't go into it to see how to discipline them. I guess if that makes sense. We didn't go in to try to change them, just to better understand them, and then you can always put your spin on it.
Oh, point.
To
Wayman's point, your children had a very different aspect of life than mine did, right? Mm-hmm. Like, because his children were getting, he has a child that was getting tattoos in her teenage, like 16, 15-year-old, like, and my children were like, well, we want tattoos too, right? So it was like,
I want some of that.
It was like, okay, here's my thing. Like, I can't mother his children. Like, they have a mother, right? So whatever him and their mother allow them to do, that's not my space.
Right.
Like, I never tried to interfere or intervene with what him and his wife or ex-wife decided to do for their children. I just was like, hey, these are my rules for you as my children. And this is what we're going to abide by. So my children know, like, if you can't consent to a tattoo, you're not going to get it. That's not my space. But I couldn't give his children that same line of rules, which is along what Kurt says.
Yeah.
You parent your children, I'm going to parent mine. But I've never had an issue with discipline with his kids. Like, they came into the door respecting me. Like, they know, hey, she's an adult, like, she's here. And I've never had issues with them, like, none whatsoever. And I do have a relationship with their mother. Like, she and I talk regularly. Jamie doesn't necessarily talk to my ex, but I talk to my ex like, hey, this is who I'm with. And if he is a part of their lives, he's going to be able to discipline them. So my ex and I have that mutual conversation, and we've talked about this. So he knows like they're in good hands. And as somebody said, as long as they're not being harmed, as long as there's not any issues in the situation where they're coming to their dad or they're coming to me saying, hey, this person is saying this, they're saying that, it shouldn't be an issue, especially when you have kids of age. And that's why the age thing comes into part. Like, how do you guys feel about having a relationship with the person who is over your children in your significant other's life? Like, do you feel like you need a relationship with them or you don't need a relationship? We'll go to you, Dave, first. Oh, what? Kirk got his hand up. Let's go to Kirk.
Yeah, I had a couple points. Wayman made a really good point about, doing the parenting from day one. I take notes, but I'm not moving on none of that. Because I don't know if I like you for real. Like, I'm just saying.
Well, let me clarify what I said, Craig, because it's not anything to
no, man.
But this is something maybe to consider at 7, 8 months, 9 months if you see something also well. So let me clarify.
Okay, I always say, because I take good notes. Like, that's part of my real job. So it carries over into real life. So I take good notes. I'm always taking stuff like, oh, your kid might like this, or she might like that. I'm always good about like trying to keep that kind of stuff in my mental Rolodex of things to do for future reference. But like, I don't know. We know people who we thought we knew, and then we get down the road. It's like, oh man, she like this, and we all been wrong. Everybody on the stream has been wrong. I think. Well, let me fix I've been wrong. I've been dead wrong about a woman who I thought was gonna be my everything, and then she turned out to be my nothing. So, and her kids were awesome. I haven't had, and to that point, I've had zero issues with the children. I have problems with their parents, with their mama specifically. I don't want to talk to your baby daddy. I don't have anything to say to him. I'm an awesome person. So, and most of them don't mind me. I don't have a problem with baby daddies. I don't have a problem with kids. I have a problem with the women. And so that's my personal beef with the blended family thing. I think to Catrice's point, that separate family situation with them kids, you got to keep your stuff over there, keep us over here. We just don't blend it how we blend it, right? So everybody has different rules for their house. It's all very custom. Like everybody on the screen got a custom situation for all their blended family hopes and dreams. We all got a hope in our mind about what we think we want to achieve with somebody else with kids. Because to Wayman's point, everybody I meet got kids for the most part. Typically, I meet the occasional one without kids, but for the most part, they all have children. And I'm ready to take that on if I get that serious with them. But I'm not taking on no responsibility. I don't have to. But I got kids. I got enough responsibility and kids already. I got enough basketball games. I got enough events. I got enough dresses to buy. It's enough to do without the input of somebody with kids, especially younger kids. Good Lord. So, and that's another thing to your point. When you choosing a mate, do the kids matter? Because like, I won't date somebody with kids under a certain age. I've had terrible experiences with that. I've had horrific experiences with that. Like you said, 1 and 3. Oh no, sister, you got. We can be very good friends, but I can't. Romantic stuff, I can't fool with it. And there's just a personal beef I've had with them because it's a lot of expectation that I can't fulfill for you. Because I've had experiences where, to example, it could have been me, Rodney, Mr. M5, or Wayman. As long as somebody fit in that slot, they didn't care who it was. Stepdaddy.
You feel like you were taken advantage of.
Not even that, because I don't know how to get to that point. But like I feel like I'm a person playing a role. Like I'm on a roster, and like I just like point guard is the point guard on the team. Like or the quarterback is the quarterback. I'm just.
I got it. Spot. Next man up. You the next man up.
I'm just the next man up. She wants somebody.
I got it.
If I do check off these boxes, it'll be me forever. If Wayman comes in and he check out them boxes, it'll be Wayman. It don't matter. Me and Wayman are completely different people. I'm very sure. But in that case, it could be me or him. It could be Rodney or Mr. M5. It don't matter who it is as long as somebody fits that slot. And so that's been my experience being out in the world for real. Like in these streets, it's hard out here. So if you're ready to check us, if you're ready to just if I want to be married tomorrow, I could be married tomorrow. If I just want to check them boxes and fill a slot, I want to be myself though. And a lot of times those boxes don't give you room to move in your own space. In my experience.
Who else who wants to speak on that?
I thought Rodney had his hand up.
I was redirecting my child. My bad.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, you gotta pay attention. If you know what children are like, you understand it.
Well, I saw that too, but I thought before that. Let me ask you.
Was saying something.
Okay, go ahead, Wayman.
Now I'm saying I want to hear from these ladies because I'm gonna tell y'all something. Just in just talking with men is that I'm not saying y'all per se, but it's a lot of men have fleed the scene because ladies let their kids be out of control.
Oh yeah,
So you know,
bad kids get you dumped.
saying a lot of kids have broke up a lot of marriages, and a lot of kids have stopped relationships and even manifesting because once again we all got our way to raise our kids, and that's good and fine. But what happened when your way meet my way? I want to know what way gonna win. The right way should win.
Right is a perception. Go, Dave. What you got?
I'm going to speak from a perspective of a woman that has children, 4 and 1. So, and my partner, his child is also 5. So we have very young children. We make it work. There is no, when his son is around me, I do what I need to do. If he's not in the space to do it at that moment, and vice versa. Like, we help each other out. I only do as much as I can without offending his child's mother. There is no my way or your way. We just find a way that works, if that makes sense. Like, it's not I parent my kids this way, you parent your kids this way. It's can we figure out what works for each child, because all of them are different, and we have to find discipline styles for all of them. Like, all 3 of them literally have a different way that we have to handle them when they do certain things. And we just know certain boundaries not to cross. We don't really do the whooping thing. Yeah, I'm one of those, like, try to be gentle parents. We only do that if we have to. Like, it has to be something that's worth doing if that makes sense.
Yeah. Very valid point about offense, because as we've all said, we're all parents here. Is there something that offends you from just like, for instance, your kids are with their opposing parent and their step parent does something? Is there anything that is offensive to you guys? Is there something that anybody wants to speak on?
A non-negotiable. Kurt read already. Kurt loaded. Kurt said,
I didn't live all this. I got more offended at a situation that happened last year with a chick how she was dealing with her own kid. Like, me and her don't talk because of that situation. She was a bad mom in my opinion, so I got rid of that situation with the quickness. I can't deal with you being a bad parent to your own kid. What you gonna do to my kid? God forbid we ever do blended family. What you gonna do to my kid? If you don't respect your own, you're not gonna respect mine.
That's a good point.
And and maybe I'm a little sensitive because I'm around a lot of like younger kids, like younger meaning like 12 to 18 range, that athlete range. So I see a lot of households, a lot of interactions. I'm very sensitive to those situations. So when you mistreat a kid or do something that I don't think is gonna help that kid grow as a person, I'm out of there. I can't deal with it.
I understand what you're saying. I'm gonna say this really quick before everybody jump in, but I am very nice to other people's kids. It's my kids who I don't respect.
See, you want them.
I can't stand my kids. Everybody else's kids, I love them. I am like, hey, give me a hug. My kids, I'll be like, I'll knock you out. Like,
because your kids will try you.
Okay, go ahead, y'all.
Yeah.
All right, Rodney with some M5. You guys all came off mic. What y'all have to say about that? What's offensive to you?
I kind of agree with what Kurt said. I mean, like, what's offensive to me is I basically kind of had a woman I was seeing that done the same thing, mean as hell to her kids. You know what I mean? And I ain't get it. So I just pretty much said, if you mean to yours, I know you've been mean to mine. But I gave it a chance, but it didn't last long after that. And then to me, it's always something, and I'm not pointing blame. I might be pointing blame. I don't know. But
man, point blame, man.
It's always something that a woman not gonna tell you what happened with her baby dad. It's always something. And when you think you know, you're like, wait a minute. So this brother just got up and left for nothing. I'm trying to figure out now, it's something you're not telling me. So I'm either gonna find out through experience, or I'm gonna find out within a certain amount of time. So personally, I think she was always mean to her kids because she was mad at the dad. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I just think that don't really have nothing to do with us right now. How can we fix this? And unfortunately for me, I ain't stick around long enough to find out. So that's why my blended family days are no mas.
Time will tell, brother. Give it a minute. She gonna tell on herself.
Oh, yeah. That,
So
you can't only fake it so long. Like dealing with people, especially. I got some.
I was really thinking if I'd ever dated a girl with kids before, but I have, and I was in high school, so I don't even know if this counts. Right? She was older than me, a good little bit. Her daughter could have been like maybe 5 years old or so, and she never really did anything to offend me. I mean, we used to hang out together. Her daughter's father lived in the neighborhood, and he would drive by sometime. The only thing I thought was really weird is that he never stopped by to speak or introduce himself. Right? He would just drive by and I guess kind of look and keep it moving. But I mean, there was no problem or anything like that at all. But what I would like to say is that I feel like if I was single and I met a woman that had children, right? We're definitely going to have those conversations like before we get maybe to a third date or so, right? So I'm going to say that if you meet someone and they have children, we have to date more responsibly, right? Which means that we have to ask the right questions. I think we have to manage the expectations before, things get a little too far gone, to eliminate some of this, these issues with the co-parenting and stuff like that. I mean, you can only manage what you can manage within your household. So, I mean, I'm not trying to run nobody else's household anyway. And if me and old girl didn't work, then I got to live with the fact that somebody else is going to have some sort of influence in my kid's life when they're not with me. And there's just nothing I can do about that. So I'm cool. But now, I do expect my wife to treat all of our kids the exact same, right? So if she was a little harder on Makai, which is our youngest son, than she was on, our oldest son, I would have an issue with that because I wouldn't want my youngest son to feel like, man, maybe mommy loves Malik more than she loves me, right? And I think that at that point, it could become a little divisive amongst the children. So I personally feel like that when they're at our house, like they need to be treated the same. Okay. So we just don't have, all of that divisiveness amongst our children. And I think it also eliminates a lot of unnecessary conversation and problems. So, I mean, I think that if, again, we were dating more responsibly, we probably wouldn't have a lot of those, issues if you were managing the expectation up front, like, hey, how do you feel about me disciplining your kids? Oh, I don't want you to, speak, to discipline my children. Well, okay, bet. This may not be a relationship that I can be in because, I'm not going to treat your kid no different than I treat my kid if, that's how you feel. I mean, just whatever conversation need to be had, I think that stuff have to be, dealt with way beforehand.
Yeah.
So that stuff isn't a problem at all. I thought that was really interesting, the comment you made about your husband's daughter having tattoos, right? And things like that, like 15, 16 of your kids now like wanting tattoos, right? That right there is really tough, right? Like, I mean, hey, if she got tattoos, I should be able to have them too. Well, not really. She had those tattoos before I met him.
She did not. She didn't have them before. Like we were all very present when she got them. We were all in this situation when she got them. So they actually went with us when she got them. So it was like, oh, okay,
this
she
what we
can do
doing?
this, so we can do it too.
Like, okay, here we go. Open season.
Understand, I'm not their mother. Like, he's not y'all's father. And listen, my son got a earring. Did he get both ears or one ear? I can't remember.
He got two. He got both.
I took him to get his ears pierced after his senior season. He hadn't turned 18. He was about to turn 18. His daddy was livid. Like, and I talked to him about it. And he was just like, you trash and you ain't nothing. You ain't never gonna be nothing for letting my son get the earrings. I was like, I didn't think it was a big deal. So like communication is very important. I literally thought like, okay, we on the same page. Because I talked to the boy because like we try to all communication, we try to push through the kids.
Yep.
Talk to your dad. If he says it's okay, I'll take you. Talk to your mom. If she says it's good, we'll take you. But he clearly he got me.
well, but I think that's kind of a mistake too, a little bit, because you know these kids will play the parents.
They will try.
It's like, hey, did you talk to your dad? Of course I did.
Job.
He get the piercings and he show up and dad's like, what the hell? You know, mom said I can do it.
No, it wasn't even like that. It was like, hey, you can do it if your dad agrees, because he was staying with his dad. And that was a determining factor. Like, you live with your dad, right? So therefore, I want to make sure that he's okay with this, because I don't want to be that parent that's just out here letting you do whatever you want to do. That's not my place. So, you know, that is a very valid point. Like, kids will play you if you allow them to. So that's why it's also very necessary to have a relationship with the other parent. But even if you don't, so now since that situation happened, I'm like, what we need to do now, you need to verify a text message with me. Text him and show me the text message so I can verify that this is an approved transaction. Because like as long as you're trying to keep peace, the other person knows it. Like, they're not, out here I'm not out here trying to by any means disregard his discipline in his household or trying to make anything hard for anybody. And y'all, we've been on here 40 minutes. We're going to give y'all 4 more minutes. So Wyman, if you got something else you want to discuss with everybody. Oh wait, Jabria, what you got on this? Because we ain't heard from you all night, girl. What you got?
Unmute yourself.
We still can't hear you. Hold on. We're going to unmute you. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, I'm actually single. So I haven't been in a
double single. Hey guys, everybody watching, Jabria is double single. She's just putting it out there, just FYI.
But is she ready to mingle?
Okay.
That's the part right there.
They mingling themselves by now. She said double single.
Okay, she said she's single and ready to mingle. Okay, go ahead with your point, my girl.
So I have not been in a situation where I've had a blended situation inside of my own household. I only have one child, and she's 9, and she has already expressed that she's willing to have a stepfather in the house. And she's not the type of child who I have to worry about the other person having to discipline. So that's not really an issue, because it's not much that she does right now at this age. But I'm sure as she gets older, attitudes and stuff will come in, and there will be lots of discipline. And I know right now at this point, if I meet someone, I'm positive they're going to have kids. And I already know that
99%.
I don't do the whole step thing. Like, I don't believe in that term. I'm the bonus mom. And when it comes to like my ex-husband, our co-parenting is a little, it's a little challenging. We don't do a whole lot of communicating when it comes to doing stuff with her, because basically whatever I say, which I'm cool with.
Sound like
baby. And then he has another child, and me and his baby mama, we have our own relationship where we actually talk and try to see how to get the girls together, because she's maybe 1. Yeah, she's 1. So me and her talk on how to try to get the girls together and do things together outside, so that we'll have a good communication skill when it comes to them and what we do with them. And whenever my daughter goes to her house with her, how my expectations are when she's with her. And when you ever want to bring your baby here, or I kept her or something, whatever your expectations are. So it's just, everybody has their own thing. A lot of my friends like, how are you friends with the new baby mama? And I'm just like, girl, it's a whole little village, because my child is gonna be around her. Like, we have to communicate. We got to be on some type of level when it comes to certain things. So that's just my take on everything. And when I meet somebody and they have kids, listen, we're definitely having a talk in the beginning, because at this point we're intentionally dating. So I need us to have clear views on how this is going to move forward, not just with me and you, but how we plan to move forward as a whole family together.
So listen, I know our time is about up. I need a 60-second answer from each of you. So this is the scenario. For you, Wayman, you have a young lady in your life that has kids. How much of a relationship do you need with the child's father? So same thing for you, young ladies. When you're coming with a man in your life, how much of a relationship do you need to have with the other parent? Like, is this something that's, hey, you cool with not having, or is something that you need to have? And then we'll wrap up. We have very different. We have a very different way of communicating ourselves, and we'll wrap it up with that question. So let's go with Mr. M5 first.
I have to say it depends on how old the children are, right? So like if they're older, you know, then maybe I don't need to have as much of a relationship because I mean, you know, they're older. For sure, if I had some younger children that were going to be spending time somewhere else, then I would need to definitely have a relationship with that other person, right? Like I just need to be able to trust them. We ain't gotta hang out and, you know, grab lunch and stuff like that, but there needs to be a foundation where I can say like I trust this other person with my children as much as possible, you know, if they're open for that.
Mr. M5, tell everybody how they can follow you, and we can back you out as we go through all of the other answers because we don't want to hold anybody up longer than we need to. But
okay.
Talk to the people.
Cool. You can actually follow me on Instagram at Mr. M5. But I just started a group called Men on Duty, right? That I'm currently building just to support men that may need, you know, a platform by which we can kind of express ourselves and things like that. That will also be focused on teaching young boys how to become men, right? And that's called Men on Duty.
Gotcha. I like it. Like that. Make sure you plug us in the group so we can follow you and support you to the best of our ability. Thank you for your input tonight, and you have a great night. All right, Mr. Dickens, Tabria left us, so it's on you. Tell us, how much of a relationship do you want to have with a man who is over your children?
Don't say it like that.
The man who is in the house or is supporting or helping to support your children. I don't know how else to say it.
You said stern.
Okay.
Okay. Based on personal experience, I'm gonna talk on my second child. If I'm answering this correctly, I'm gonna say none. Because for one, I'm the primary parent. I have both of my boys since July 2nd, 2018. My decree is 38 pages long. I know it. So I talked to my son and I asked him, how is this man treating you on alternate weekends? And he haven't given me no bad report. And I ask him occasionally. So personally, I would say no relationship for my child. Now, the flip side is if I'm dating a woman and, you know, her children have a father, I personally would like to meet him, but I think that's a sign of me being serious towards the woman. Trying to understand the dynamics of how your children are raised, and honestly, it of who the children are. If I see their dad, you know, so if the kids don't listen, the daddy probably don't listen as well. But outside of that, you know, again, this is based on personal experience. This ain't no data. I didn't poll 100 people or nothing like that. Just based on my life, that has been my feedback. So I hope that answers your question.
My life. Okay. Tell the people where they can find you, where they can follow you, and we'll back you out of the studio so we can let everybody else go.
Y'all can follow me to Houston, Texas. That's where my home is at, on the south side.
You left Houston yesterday.
Real?
I did.
It's all good. But you can follow me on Instagram at DJ Rod_D. Long time DJ, over 20 years. I'll be at Prairie View this upcoming weekend, DJ festivities out there for the bros. And we're just gonna have a good time, you know. So, but outside of that, I do have a small enrichment group called Rodney Dickens Enrichment. We assist children between the ages of 8 and 13. Our pillars are homework, workout, nutrition, and recreation.
Okay, you need to partner with Kirk. He all about that nutrition and dad bod type stuff. He on some other stuff, but we'll talk about it later. Thank you, Rodney, for joining us tonight. We look forward to our next Parent Connection. This has been dope. You have a great evening. Kurt, it's on you, my boy. Oh, unmute yourself.
Okay, I'm trying to be like Jabria. I don't need 60 seconds. I don't need any sort of relationship with anybody else's stuff. I don't need that. I'm a good enough dad on my own where I don't need to kind of back my stuff, like bounce it off somebody else. Because I'll be honest with you, in my experience, I've had the relationships that the kids' mom have with their dads are either non-existent or bad. And so I don't want to dig into that too deeply. I just want to kind of give you a positive sounding board on my side of things. So that's kind of how I play it. I don't even dig into that side of life. I wish Mr. M5 would stay on because I want to tell him, I wish I could live in that fantasy world where you just have one discussion with somebody when you meet them and it just actually plays out that way every single time. Lord, I love to live in that world. But for the most part, I don't need a relationship with, no. You I'm over here, you stay over there. Just don't hit my kid.
What happens if they hit your kid? Like, is it not a?
I'm gonna hit him. What? I don't understand the concept.
So here, really quickly, you said you need 60 seconds. Now you went to a whole nother realm of things. Like, okay, so they say if your kid is being disrespectful or out of line, and your kid has to get disciplined by this person because he's just like they're with him, right? They're out and about, they're doing things, and they get out of line, and he has to discipline them. You have a problem with it?
Never gonna happen. My kids are 15 and 16, so they older. I know the way with which they handle themselves. They've had coaches, they've had mentors, they've had teachers. I kind of get their vibe. If my kid comes back and say something that don't sit right with me, I'm siding with them first because I know how they roll. You know what I mean? Like my kids are special. I'm very blessed with the kids I have. If my kids weren't there, I'd be like, hold up, she lying. But my kids are really special, and I don't believe everything they say, but I understand like they're not gonna disrespect you. So don't expect them back. Okay.
All right. We hear you, Kurt, loud and clear. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell the people how they can follow you, where you are, all the things.
Instagram, CutFit. I take a lot of pictures sometimes. I work out a lot. And on Facebook, Kurt L. McAfee. I share a lot of weird observations.
Yo, go follow Kurt. He got all the things on his page. We trying to get fit, even though he won't train me.
Don't be a bus.
Yeah. I just did that because I've asked you and I'm tired of talking to you.
We can talk about
Okay. My bad. Not here. Right. You have a great evening. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back. Yeah, we bring a Parent Connection back. We got to do this every Sunday because I'm telling you, we got a lot to talk about. All right, next, Jabria, what you got for us? Do you need a relationship with either the woman who is over your children, with your ex, or if you are with a man and he has kids, do you need a relationship with his baby mama?
Now, if I'm in a relationship, I would like a relationship with his baby mom because I want her to know that I'm not going to mistreat her child. Like, her child is welcome in my home at any time. If there's something I need to know, we need to discuss, it's okay. It's fine. We cool. We in this together. It's a whole little village. I'm cool. It's good.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I heard you real. I think it's a lady thing.
It may be a lady
thing. And you know what? Wait a minute. I want to come to you before we go there. Jabria, tell the people where we can find you, how to follow you, and what you got going on.
On Facebook, I'm Lux80. On Instagram, I am J__ the coach, and I am Lux.80. And also my website, www.jbriaiyalla.com.
All right. Make sure you guys post this stuff in our comments so that people can find and follow you. Okay. Thank you, Jabria. Stay tuned. Parent Connection coming back loud and strong.
Yes.
Day, do you need a relationship with these women?
They want it. She want to go out.
Or men, because sometimes
She
we
wanna
can be in a
go
relationship with
grocery
women,
shopping.
and then these women can have baby daddies.
They wanna
If
chit-chat.
you was in a relationship with a woman, let's talk about that too. And
They
she
wanna
had a baby
go-
daddy. Would you want a
They
relationship with her
want
baby
to
daddy?
go have coffee with the lady. they cool like that. I'm telling you, they with.
Can you
I'm
let
telling
that
you.
talk?
Okay, my turn.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
go Dave.
Yeah, you go ahead.
I think the relationship just needs to be a cordial relationship. Like if we have to be in the same room, then there needs to be no beef. Like we can be able to sit and talk if we have to, because at some point we're gonna have to all be around each other. But we don't have to be texting, we don't have to be talking, we gotta meet up, we gotta do all that, you gotta be best friends. Just enough relationship because we're gonna be around each other, if that makes sense. Like that's good enough for me. Because the conversation should really just be between you and the parent that I'm dating. Like I don't feel like that's your child. I'm gonna do what I need to do when he's there, but other than that, I'm just here.
Right. Indeed. They tell everybody where they can find you and how we support you.
You can follow me on all platforms at Dayruss on Instagram. You'll see the links to all of my other pages. I own a nonprofit dessert business, and I also do locks. Hint, hint. Yes, I do sister locks too. So yeah, just follow me. Oh, and I also have a private safe space group where I cater to Black women and Black men, so we can all vent and just talk about stuff.
Say Wes, Parent Connection. We gotta get us some Parent Connection shirts.
I like it.
I know. We're gonna send it out.
I got it. I'm on it.
But
I'm on it.
I'll add you to my lock group because I have a lock group on Facebook, so you can
Please.
plug
Thank you.
I will do. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you so
Bye.
much. Bye. All right, Wayman. This is your show.
Yes.
Talk to us. Do
Very,
you need a relationship?
very interesting segment. I took some notes myself actually. Yeah, I think it's important. Like just from a cordial standpoint, I think as a man, you know, my kids are older now, 19-year-old, and I've got a 25-year-old. But if the kids are smaller, then I got my daughter that's here with me now, that's a sophomore at Regional High School. When they were smaller, and me and their mom, you know, got divorced or whatever when we first got up here, I'll say to myself, if she got somebody around my babies, I'm gonna meet this joker. You know what I'm saying? You don't see me because I'm coming to the house. Now here's the problem. Unfortunately,
I like that for one.
Fortunately, the baby daddies are MIA somewhere. Okay, and you don't never see them, and I don't know why. And more in the Black culture, we want to keep folks a secret. I need you to know what my expectations are as a man, just like the guy said, Kurt said, my kids are gonna be great. I'm gonna ask my kids about how you treat them, but I need to look you right here in the face.
Facts.
Conversation. Okay.
I do.
You know, so if I don't see your baby daddy, if we've been dating for months and months and I ain't seen your baby daddy yet, you know, it's a lot going on there. Okay. If he ain't came to the house and picked your child up, not one time, not two times, I already know what I'm dealing with. And unfortunately, as men and women, sometimes we got to come behind folks that didn't sweep the room right. And we got to find crumbs and get them out the room, right? So
okay,
I think
okay, sweeper.
Yeah, I think it's important. Ain't no man with small kids, and we know the kids are most likely gonna be with the mom, right? No real man is not going to want to know who that dude is. No real man. That is the way I feel. I remember watching something with Deion Sanders and Babyface, and they was at this restaurant talking, and he said, "Man, why we don't do this? Why we can't sit down and do this?" And he said, "Man, we just doing this for the kids. I know you got kids. You know, me and Tracy got kids. This is about the kids."
It's about the kids. I swear to God, that is the most impactful statement.
And if we're not mature enough to have a conversation about the kids, then what else we ain't mature to have a conversation about?
That part right there.
So this is just one thing. This is just one thing we talking about.
That's it.
All we talking about is just one thing tonight: parenting and the family.
Right.
And if we can't do that, if we can't have the maturity enough, the capacity enough to do that, then what else we gonna miss the mark on?
It's
like this old Wayman, not the Wayman that you went to Alcorn with, Jamie, not the Wayman you grew up with on 553. Like the new Wayman, I'm intentional about everything. But I also, when I got divorced, I took a 2-year sabbatical of just self-development.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Your friend brother, Pastor Roger Richardson, which is my pastor, he got a book called I Can't Keep Dating Like This. I read that forward. You see what I'm saying? So we have to set about ourselves so that the road can be easier for us.
Right.
We got personal feelings to the side. We got to put egos to the side. We got to put all this other mess to the side if we really going to be better as a people.
Amen.
Because you know, I'm currently dating somebody right now. It's been 6 months. I haven't met the child's father yet. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'll leave it up to her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's a 19-year-old, a 17-year-old in the house, but it's a 9-year-old that's his too. The oldest one is not. So if this goes to where I hope it goes, then that boy is only 9. Right. Which means that when we get married, he probably gonna still be in the house with us, right?
Right. Oh, yeah, for sure.
The senior in high school and the rest of them, they probably gone somewhere.
Right.
He eventually still got to see me, no matter graduation, because I'm gonna be there.
Got to.
You gonna be there?
Right. Wait a minute, I think it's a Fayette thing, because I'm the same person. You know, like, I don't want to be.
Son is 9.
Yeah. My children are 16 and 18. My oldest two, by my ex-husband.
Mm-hmm.
He is remarried presently. I have met his new wife. We don't have a relationship. We don't talk, but there are things that are going on within this situation that I feel need to be discussed. But I don't feel like I have that safety net to discuss it. You know, and I don't like that.
He supposed to set that up.
Hey, that's what I told Jamie. I said this is not a situation or a problem that I have with her. He is the person who is supposed to be creating this, environment of safety for not only her, but me and our children. Because they're going to be our children forever. Like, you're not going to be able to change that. Wherever my children are, I'm going to be there for sure. Like, I can't say if they're going to be there, but I'm going to be there for sure.
Let me tell you something. This is what I can learn. And Lord, I wish I'd had this mindset, when I was young. Okay, I always been a cool, upstanding guy. Everybody that know me, I don't think I had nobody that don't like me, right?
Mm-hmm.
That don't mean I didn't have weaknesses. I'm just saying, when you're a leader, this is what I had in the hallway. You cannot be scared to tackle situations, and you cannot really lead based off the feeling of other people. You just lead and do what's right.
Right.
Leaders don't lead. They lead when they don't feel like it. They lead and they know it might ruffle some fellas. But I'll rather ruffle some fellas now and fellas that don't need to be there out the way and keep the fellas that want to be there so we can fly good.
Preach on it. Wait, you got me out here. I'm finna go on Facebook and ruffle a bunch of fellas.
That is not what he's saying.
I'm finna listen. Don't be under my post. Do not be under my post talking about this.
Wayman.
This not you. This is me. This is me.
Come on, take it down.
Don't be under my post talking about take it down because Wayman got me lit. I'm finna go out here. I'm finna cuff everybody out.
That is not what Wayman is saying. It's not. That ain't what he's saying. It's not what he said.
That's what I heard.
Wayman, tell her that's not what you said. Wayman said, that ain't what I see.
Wayman, okay, babe, say this.
You have to be mature, man. You know what I'm saying?
Maturity out the window.
I'm telling you, man, it's Lord. You just you come behind.
Wait, I'm about to lighten the moment because we out here and we talking real spicy. Guess what? Y'all better get ready because I'm finna cuss everybody on Facebook. But okay. So hold on, wait a minute. Wait a minute, I got a question for you.
Okay.
The question is, why would Nelly say take off your clothes?
Why would Nelly say take off your clothes? You're getting hot in here.
Hey, hot in here. Connection group. We have enjoyed you thoroughly. You don't have to talk about this whenever you want to come on and talk about anything. Please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We've had a blast. And we're going to close out because we've been on here an hour and 4 minutes. That time be like this.
Great segment.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. And tell everybody like where they can find you, what you do, what you want them to follow you for, and what you can help them with in life.
Well, you can follow me at Wayman L. Rankin on Facebook. I'm on Rankin_and_associates on Instagram. Right now, I am putting some things in place through my church to continue a mentoring thing. We'll hope we can kick that off and do that. I have an idea that God gave me actually years ago, and I've been procrastinating on it, to have a mentoring group called Growing Men Mentoring Group. It'll be GMMG, Growing Men. You know, like we got to grow people.
Absolutely.
You know, we got to grow and develop people into being. And hey, man, I'm just your average guy, you know, here just trying to make an impact on my community any way I can. I appreciate y'all for letting me come on here and give the listeners my little 2 cents. I appreciate it.
Thank you, women. Let us know when you're ready to come back. When you got a new topic, something happened in your life, call us. We got you. You have a great evening and come kick it with us sometime. We up here.
All right, then. All right. Peace.
Candace, what? Can you miss it? What's Jamie's thoughts on meeting the other parents? Jamie has met all of my baby daddies. I feel like it's a lot of. Jamie has met all my baby daddies.
I have.
We have gone out together. We have taken pictures together.
Yep,
we have
yep.
bowled together. Like he has met my.
Together.
He has met
Football.
my baby daddies. I have met his baby mama. Mm-hmm. Now, as far as his kids, other parent, bonus parent.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel?
What about it?
What's James' thoughts on meeting other parent?
I don't have no thoughts on it.
Oh, okay.
I don't have no thoughts on it. My kids are my line of communication. If my kids, I try to have a space where they say if they have a problem where they are, then they can let me know. That's the true feedback I need. If it's nothing that they bring up and I'm asking them, say, you know, everything good, y'all got any problem, whatever, I afford them the opportunity to let me know. I am not reaching out. I'm not reaching around. I'm not reaching through. I don't need to meet any people that I don't know that's not affecting me or my kids. I don't.
You trust your children enough to tell you everything.
I do.
How's that working out for you?
Working out pretty good. I mean, they're gonna lie some. They're gonna tell the truth a little bit. I mean, I don't know no kids that don't lie. I mean, maybe it's some kids.
How often do I tell my son to tell his father things that his father never knows?
At least. How you want me to quantify it? Like a week, a month,
I don't know, 50%, 75%.
Percentages?
Yeah.
You probably tell him to tell his father things 99% of the time. I am a witness probably 80% of the time.
And I will definitely get blamed for those things. Like people are like, well, you didn't let him tell you. I'm like, I tell this child, and I shouldn't even have to tell him. I shouldn't have to tell him to tell his father things.
Yeah,
he's a grown up.
No, you say, Jeff Jr., make sure you do this. Yes, ma'am. And then
did you do what I said do?
And then the day you're like, Mama, I ain't thought nothing about it. Like, boy.
I am very like I feel so. I grew up in a traditional household. Mm-hmm. Why don't you tell the daddy yourself? Because I don't feel like that's my place, Candace. Like, I shouldn't have to speak to my baby's daddy under no circumstances. And he has a wife who does not want me to speak with him. So therefore, I am allowing my children. My son is 18. I can't, what he gonna do? I'm not gonna be telling him what's up when he's 20. Candace. So what you trying to tell me? Do you want to come on here, Candace? Because you trying to tell me that you talk to your baby daddy and tell him everything about your son or what he got going on. Like if my son has a senior night, he has a game. That's not my place to call his daddy. That is his place. He lives with his daddy. I shouldn't be the first one to know. Like, can you be being real some type of way right
Yeah.
now.
Now, I'm thinking that too.
Like, what you think?
I don't know.
Is it my place to tell
No,
him?
it's not. It's not. It's not.
I don't know. Like, I don't feel like I should have to talk to his father. I don't. Like,
Because
that is the relationship we have cultivated.
That's a toxic circle or a toxic trend to have to continue. If you are the person that relays message, I want him to know you didn't. No, I don't listen. This is the thing about it.
Right. I don't care. Exactly. If he know it not.
I don't care if they know. Like, that's their job to know. If it's something I found out and figured out and they didn't tell me about, like, you want me to circle back every time my child tells me something to tell another adult that? Like, no, that adult should be inquiring and that child should be given the same information, both ways.
But you are that person too, because your children don't tell you a lot of stuff.
They don't. They don't. And
are
guess
you
what?
inquiring to try to find these things out? Because you're speaking on something that you are not doing.
How much inquiring can I
Are
do?
you connected with the school? Are you talking to the school? Because a lot of the things that I know is because I was connected with the school, and the people who are in the school were calling me and telling me about it.
I am mediumly connected. Because
this is such a great
because listen, because here. My mama wasn't. I live with my mama, and my mama didn't know what kind of grades I was making in college. My dad never knew at all, 0%. And I don't think there's anything against him or held against him, but I didn't think it was pertinent information.
Yes,
I didn't have.
Kenneth.
Yeah, I didn't. It wasn't.
I tell him to tell his dad because I know the type of person that I'm dealing with, right? So if he doesn't tell his dad something, his dad doesn't make it, then they feel like it's my fault. Like I'm the one who is keeping him from telling him something, and I'm not there. Like I don't even have any rights to those things.
This is the thing. You started that trend at some point, making sure, and so that's true. And so what happens is, when you start to be the carrier of information, then it's expected to happen for the remainder of time.
Okay, and here's the thing. To speak to you and Candace, I don't have a problem telling him, right? But it has become a place where there is a problem with me speaking to him, right? Mm-hmm. So therefore, I'm respecting all parties involved. If I'm in a relationship with you and I don't want your ex to talk to you, I feel like that's weird. That's very weird energy. I don't have no problem with you talking to your exes, especially if you got children around. But if that's something that you want, then I'm going to respect it. Like I'm respectfully bowing out at this point. Like, so whatever information you need, if you can't get it from your child, then that's not my place to give that information to you. And, my children are very communicative. With me,
with you,
your children are supremely communicative with me.
Right.
Like, and y'all, people be like, "Well, they didn't say this and that." I was like, "They tell me everything. They're like where they are, what they're doing," and I'm like, "I don't know what to tell y'all." And I guess it is the. What did you just say a few minutes ago? You said something about what I set up. It is the
expectation.
It is just who I am, and they have adjusted. All the kids adjust to who I am and what I expect of them, and they definitely. They talk to me. They tell me things. Like,
so guess what? I use it to my advantage, right? Because if I'm in the know, I'm in the know. If they told me or not, I can't worry about that.
But you be expecting me to tell you stuff too, and I don't feel like that's fair to me.
Not always.
You be like, just this past weekend when they came in and the Leonard was a game. He was like, "But I didn't know Leonard was the game. You didn't tell me. You should have told me. Did you not?"
No, that's because you fussing at me about what time I came home.
Because you knew they were going to be here, and I felt like you should have been here.
You felt like
I did.
Yeah, you felt like I should have. Right.
I felt like
but we hadn't discussed what time I was walking in the door.
But
you didn't say
normal.
No.
Look at this. I thought about it. Look, that's your shirt. Ain't nobody got time for that. So anyways, y'all, we've been on here too long.
Listen, I like this show.
It was great.
Let's keep it moving. Candace, we're gonna need you on the show.
Since she got so much to say.
Yeah, she's spicy. She good and spicy today now.
For me, look, count for the while on you.
Yeah.
But if it's
okay,
I was just you speaking. Want him to know.
See, that's how I'm reading stuff you're saying now.
Know. I don't care if he knows that.
And don't.
I want my son to communicate with his father. Yeah. Like that is what I want. I want him to have the same open relationship with me that he has with his father that he has with me. I want that for them. And if he doesn't have it, I cannot. What I have realized is I cannot facilitate that. I cannot make that happen
because you're gonna be facilitating for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and so therefore now I just gotta back down respectfully.
This like saying your child light bill is $300. Did you tell their daddy? Like they 30 years old. Like it's my job to go and tell their daddy the light bill is high. Like
like even like college right now, like there are certain things he wants out of sports, right? And so I'm like, do I need to go talk to the coach? I can't talk to the coach for my kid at this point. He has to be able to facilitate that mentality, that relationship with his coach, and he has to be able to tell them what he's expecting and what he wants out of this situation. So it's kind of like the same thing. So, it is what it is. We're going to ask one midlife question. We're going to log off. It says, what was one of the most difficult parts of your marriage at that time? I don't even know what that means. What was one of the most difficult parts of your marriage at that time? What does that even mean? Let's just say one of the most difficult parts of my marriage is one, I got married when I was young. So I still had a childlike mentality and I was not able to fully grasp, 100% what marriage was and what I was supposed to do in it. So therefore it was tumultuous.
Okay.
It was bad.
For me is sometimes, how like they say opposites attract. I have a provider mentality, right? And to be married to someone that has no sense of financial responsibility or accountability, they will put you in a bad position real quick, because here I am trying to provide more, and the more that comes in, the more that goes out for whatever reason. So that's a very dangerous cycle.
What do you think our financials are like? How do you think?
I think you kind of like church and state, they're separate but equal. They're very open, very, very transparent as far as what we have and what we're doing from that standpoint. Probably not as detailed as far as line item by line item, minute by minute, like what you would like. But as far as there is no, there is no secret account. There ain't no money in a account if
I
need
still
it.
balance my checkbooks, just FYI. I still have
I don't even know no chicks.
I still have one of those little books where you balance
it. I don't even know no chicks. You probably got my chick somewhere in the drawer.
I do have some chicks up here.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. We getting out of here.
Parent Connection coming back. We'll get some shirts made.
Oh, I'm excited about that.
I am.
We need a design.
I got you. Okay. Watch me work. Watch
me name. That boy went to jail for killing his cousin. Did you know that?
Who? What's his name?
Salento. Yeah. It's been years ago, but yes, he went to jail for killing his cousin. All right, y'all. Good.
Candace, you on next time.
I know. All these extra questions. We love you though. Talk to you later.
Hello. That's one of my favorite songs. And now, Hello Black Man is one of my favorite websites. See, I know y'all thought I was about to say something funny, but for once in my life, I want to say something important. I want to tell you a little bit about Hello Black Man, created by Jamie Jenkins. Hello Black Man is an everyday journal for the Black man. But if you're not a man, he has an everyday journal for the Black woman and the Black child. It's just an opportunity for us to express ourselves, to communicate. There's nothing wrong with writing your feelings down. Sometimes you don't feel like expressing everything to somebody, so you want to write it down, and then someday you're going to manifest it. And that's all Hello Black Man is. So if you go to that website, Hello Black Man, you'll see some journals, you'll see some apparel. This isn't a joke. Go get those journals if you're a Black man, if you're a Black woman, if you're a Black child. Even if you're white and you just want to get the journal and write in it. Nobody's going to judge you for writing in a journal that says something about Black people, okay? You can be trans Black. How about that? Just go to this amazing website, Hello Black Man. I promise you won't regret it. Hello. I'm Rita Brent. Remember,